Okay, in this video we're checking out the Eachine TriangleD. This is a combo VTX and DVR and a single board here. Very similar to the Diamond VTX, and before this product came out there was the nameless RC DVR VTX, also triangle shaped. Pretty similar specs. I don't have that one. Not sure why it hasn't been sent to me yet, but yeah, I don't have a review on that one. Probably not for a while. The price difference between the nameless RC and these are, I think the Eachine is about 15, the Diamond VTX is about 18, and then the nameless RC one is I think 27 or 28. So not sure why that one's so much more, but that's what the prices are. But here is the Diamond VTX here on the left. You can see that the plugs are the same. So you got your plug for the camera here, and then this is the plug that goes to the flight controller. The lights are kind of in the same spot as well. Not exactly a clone, but it's pretty close. Even the buttons here are in the same spot over here, and then you flip over the boards. You see that the micro SD cards are also oriented the same way. There's no microphone on either one of these, and you can see here that on the Eachine you have closed holes now instead of open holes, although that is pretty thin there, so it could possibly break off, or you could break those off if you'd prefer not to have the closed holes. Micro FL connector for both of these, that's the same. The recording format is also the same for both of these. It's 1280 by 720 video container. It records in AVI, and the bit rate's about the same for both of them. So the image quality that it records to the micro SD card is pretty much the same. So I think they're using the same recording hardware for recording the video that's coming in. Okay, so just to show what else you get here. You get some mounting grommets and some screws, and then you get some wiring looms, and then a small whip antenna here, and you also get a instruction manual. It's pretty straightforward, nothing too unusual going on here. I'll explain some of the differences between the products in a second, and then you pretty much get the same stuff with the Diamond VTX, and I'll link that video down in the description. You can see all the details on this one. Now, what's different about the Eachine here is there's a few things. So first off, this one goes up to 400 milliwatts, and the Diamond VTX only goes up to 200 milliwatts, so we get more output power here. We'll test that. I'll show you this reluctantly on the Immersion RC power meter, although we don't really trust the results of that. But for those of you guys that want to see it anyway, I'll show that to you in a moment. Now, it does say in the instructions that this will support both IRC Tramp and Smart Audio. It says here compatible with SANTR, so that's Tramp and Smart Audio, but I could not get Tramp to work. Only Smart Audio worked for me, and that's also the way the Diamond VTX works. Now, as I mentioned before, the plugs are the same here, as well as the wiring order, so the wires are compatible. So in fact, that's what I'm going to do to show you the output powers. I've got this baby Evo here with a Diamond VTX right there, and I'll unplug the power. So I need 5 volts to come to the flight controller. I'm going to plug this into here so I can get power this up, and we'll measure what the output power is like. Oh yeah, before I hook all this up, one more major difference I forgot to mention is the Diamond VTX does not record any of the OSD elements, but the Eachine DVR here does record the OSD. So if you don't want the OSD in your video recording, then you need to turn that off via a switch, and I actually did that in the flight demo. You probably see the OSD disappearing and coming back. Because this particular recorder does record the OSD, so it does something. It does a little bit differently in terms of where it's tapping into the analog signal. It's getting it after it comes out of the OSD chip. So that's the one difference. You can't do that on the Diamond VTX. You can't get any of the OSD elements. So some people complain about that, so they've incorporated that into the Eachine product. Okay, so I am transmitting at 25 milliwatts right now, and it's about 30 milliwatts. Okay, I have it set to 200 milliwatts and it's dropping from 60 to 50. Yeah, the power keeps dropping. I think it's because it's heating up. Okay, so this was getting pretty hot, so I went ahead and unplugged it. It seems like if there's not adequate airflow over this, it will reduce its power pretty quickly. So yeah, as I said, I don't really trust this power meter, and you kind of have to keep the video transmitter in ideal conditions and pretty cool. So you'll probably find that if you're using the VTX in really tight spaces, you're probably not going to get the maximum output power. Anyway, so yeah, I failed to mention earlier that the buttons also work the same way as on the Diamond VTX. This button here stops and starts your recording. You have an LED here. When the red light is solid, it's not recording. When it's blinking, it's recording. And if you have a recording going on and you unplug the battery, it will lose the file just like on the Diamond VTX. This one doesn't have firmware that I'm aware of that will do auto record when you plug in like you can on the Diamond VTX, so you have to actually press the button to start your recording, and of course you have to make sure you stop before you unplug it. And then this button here functions for all the VTX changes, so that you can change your band, channel, and power here through these lights, and they're indicated here in the manual. So they're different colors. There's green, red, and blue. So the blue is going to be your channel, green is going to be your bands, and then you have your 3 power levels. So it's basically 25, 200, and 400 milliwatts, and those different lights. And you just use the buttons, your typical button presses. And that button functions just like it does on pretty much all other video transmitters. Short presses for channel, 2-second long press for band select, and then 8-second long press for power select. So anyway, if you're looking for a VTX DVR combo to get your onboard recording without any transmission interference to your goggles, then this one's probably worth checking out. The video recordings seem fine. They look pretty much exactly like the Diamond VTX, and I think it's on flash sale right now for $14.99. So I'm not sure how long that's going to be and what the price is going to be later, but it's probably going to be around that price for a while. Anyway, guys, I hope you found the video helpful, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.